I'm Ambassador Angie Wrytes, and you're listening to International Ambassadors of the Sovereign Hierarchy Laws of the United States of America. I repeat, I'll say that again in case it was not clear. You're listening to the International Ambassadors of the Sovereign Hierarchy Laws of the United States of America, where today's we're talking about rape. Should rape be considered a felony? And the answer is no. Only when blows are thrown is it considered a felony. Otherwise, rape is a misdemeanor. And any person who has been charged with rape as a felony back to the JOD or the Department of Justice suing you as a felon if you should have raped somebody. Rape is not a felony. There are lawyers out there and some judges out there, prosecuting team, who will deem you a felon for committing rape. But it is only a felony when it's violently done. You start throwing blows at the person, throwing the person roundabout here and there and everywhere. That's only when it's a felony. Otherwise, rape is nothing more than a misdemeanor. And I hereby mandate that into law today, on this 28th day of October 2025. I'd like to hear your thoughts on it. So if you're not going to work today, or you're going to work later on the day, or you don't have class today, or you're going to class later on the day, and you make some time to jump on this live, then that's awesome. For some people, it's going to be like, what are you saying? International ambassadors of the sovereign hierarchy of the United States of America? What in the world is that? We're all government. It's all about government constitutional laws. That's what it's about. And today we're talking about rape. And the question is, should rape be considered a felony? Some would say, yes, rape is a felony, but it's not a felony unless you've been harmed violently. Otherwise, rape is a misdemeanor. And for those who don't know, the International Ambassadors of the Sovereign Hierarchy Laws of the United States of America is all about our United States Constitution and the rights that we have and the rights that we don't have. If there's anything that you want to talk about that, feel free to talk. We're talking about rape. Should rape be considered a felony? And in most cases, lawyers say it is a felony, then people are wrongfully charged with rape as a felon and spending buku years incarcerated, which shouldn't be at all. Because rape in itself, in the action of it, is a misdemeanor. It only becomes a felon when it gets violent. Otherwise, rape is a misdemeanor. So the sovereign hierarchy laws of the United States of America, we talk about the Constitution of America. So if you have any questions about the Constitution, and how you feel that it's wrong, should it be eradicated? It can be eradicated, and can be abolished, and it can be created here on the International Ambassadors of the Sovereign Hierarchy Laws of the United States of America. You have any questions about it? I'm here. You can talk to me about it. I am Ambassador Angie Wrytes, and I welcome you in on this early morning. For some people who are going to be, whoa, it's too early to be smack dab hit with rape so early in the morning, a constitution. Yeah. it's that vital of a subject matter that it needs to be talked about round a 24-hour clock. Our Constitution of the United States of America is being eradicated completely by Donald Trump. I say our Constitution of the United States of America is completely, totally being eradicated by President Donald J. Trump. And we're talking about rape. The subject is rape, what we're talking about here today. Is rape a felony? No, rape is actually a misdemeanor. It only becomes a felony when you start throwing blows, slapping people around and kicking people around. That's only when it becomes a felony. You're listening to the International Ambassadors of the Sovereign Hierarchy Laws of the United States of America. I am Ambassador Angie Wrytes. And I talk about the Constitution of the United States of America and how it's being abolished, eradicated, slowly but surely, is what President Donald J. Trump is doing to our Constitution. It's all about the government, the international ambassadors of the sovereign hierarchy laws of the United States of America. It's all about our United States government and the Constitution amendments. If there's anything you want to talk about concerning that at this time, feel free to. Right now, the topical topic is rape. Is rape a felony? It's only a felony when it becomes violent. Otherwise, rape is not a felony, it's a misdemeanor. Thanks for the likes, thanks for the shares, thanks for subscribing to my channel right down there where you see the subscribe button. Appreciate you. Yes, it's real life right now. I don't have time to pretend like people do on Halloween. It's real life. I'm just not showing my face at this time. It's not Halloween. It's where you put on a costume and you pretend. This is not the movies or theater where you put on a costume and you pretend to be a character. This is actual and factual. That's right. Hi, how you doing? Talking about the Constitution of the United States of America and how it's being slowly but surely eradicated and abolished by our current sitting president, Donald J. Trump, and talking about rape. Is rape a felony? It only becomes a felony when it becomes violent. Otherwise, rape is nothing more than a misdemeanor. And hi, how you doing? Good to see you. Thanks for stopping in. Appreciate you. Like, share, follow, subscribe to my channel. Right down there, we're talking about the Constitution of the United States of America, how it's slowly being eradicated, and how constitutions can be legally created as well. The topical topic today is rape. Is rape a felony? In the eyes of some prosecutors and judges and people that are on the prosecuting team, always condemning you to hell for this, that, and the other, rape is not a felony. It's a misdemeanor when blows have been thrown. When I talk about blows, I mean socking someone in the face, socking someone in the mouth, thrashing their arms back and spreading them, and just wildness. When it becomes violent, rape is a felony only when it becomes violent. Otherwise, it is indeed a misdemeanor. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Ambassador Angie Wrytes, and we're listening to the International Ambassadors of the Sovereign Hierarchy Laws of the United States of America. This is real life. There's nothing to pretend about. Our Constitution of the United States of America is nothing to be pretend about. It's serious business. and I'm about the business of the Constitution. Well, there's no way for me to text back, so I can't text back. So with that being said, I thank you for stopping in. I thank you for listening. I'm Ambassador Angie Wrytes of the International Ambassadors of the Sovereign Hierarchy Laws of the United States of America. No, this is not pretend. I don't have time to pretend. I'm not in the movies, so I'm not going to pretend. I'm not on a theater stage, so I'm not pretending. This is real. This is not Halloween where you dress up in a costume and you pretend to do this and you pretend to do that. I don't have time for the pretenders. Though there was a song out there called by a group called the Pretenders. I don't have time for pretending. Talking about the Constitution of the United States of America. Oh, today's a teacher work day. So my goodness, how old are you? And is your parent with you? It's very important. I don't know how you got on here and you're a child. Well, I don't know if you're a child, but you're saying you're not at school today. It's a teacher's work day. That sounds like elementary school or something like that. You should be on here with your parents and not just finagling around on your own, because there's a lot of dangerous people out there who want to cause harm. And I will be talking about that in formation of our Constitution of the United States of America. Not today, maybe not. I got to wait to see how God, the Spirit, moves me. But with that being said, we're talking about rape. Should it be considered a felony? And it's only a felony, rape is only a felony when it is violent. I quote, when it is violent. Otherwise, rape is nothing more than a misdemeanor. And those who have been wrongfully charged as a felon for committing rape can go back and sue the lawyer, can sue those on the prosecuting team, even the person that's accusing the person of supposedly committing a rape, and having them sit in jail or prison for buku years. Now there's R. Kelly. I can see where it would be charged as a felon. But then you have to ask yourself this question. If they knew R. Kelly was committing a crime long before the years they decided to charge him with a crime, R. Kelly technically can go back and sue the whole prosecuting team, that to even the victims. Now, I know some people say, what, what are you talking about? We're talking about rape, and should it be considered a felon? That's what we're talking about today here on the International Ambassadors of the Sovereign Hierarchy Laws of the United States of America. Amen. And it is mandated today, on this date, that should you be wrongfully accused of rape and you're not, and it's a violent crime, you can take the time to go back and sue the prosecuting team. That is actual and that is factual. Why is anybody sitting in prison for buku years? I can see if you're a repeat offender multiple times, I can see where one could be charged as a felon. But the crime itself, the nature of the crime in itself, you shouldn't be charged as a felon, not even for rape, not even for murder. Should it be something where you're charged as a felon? Getting buku and buku years behind bars is absurdity. I thank you for the likes. I thank you for the shares. And I thank you for subscribing to my channel. I am Ambassador Angie Wrytes. And this is the International Ambassadors of the Sovereign Hierarchy Laws of the United States of America. We were over there on X, on Twitter, but we've moved here to YouTube for the time being. And with that being said, I'm Ambassador Angie Wrytes, and going to go ahead and wrap this up. Thanks for stopping in. Thanks for liking, and thanks for subscribing to my channel. Have a blessed and safe day.